Fox News election alert for you now. We are waiting on several critical states. We have already called Ohio for Donald Trump, as we brought to you moments ago. We are about to make a major call. Fox News Decision Desk is now projecting that Donald Trump has won the state of North Carolina. And that is huge for Donald Trump. This is exactly what he needed to do. Win Ohio, win North Carolina. Florida's part of it, and then pick off a blue. That's what he's trying to do.
It is my high honor and distinct privilege to introduce to you the President-elect of the United States of America, Donald Trump.
The end of 2016 was an interesting time. It was the year I started following US politics. Never before in the previous 7 years of living here had I thought much about any of it. Politics never really came up much before. By 2016, I had 7 years of lived history in the US and had fallen head over heels in love with this nation. Today, as I go about setting up my business and branding, I can't help but think of the deep divide in this country. Sadly, I've witnessed silencing, hatred, and cancellations on our people and businesses with no real end in sight. I know this is the package I subscribed to when I decided to move here 15 years ago. But with all due respect to whoever is watching this, what I believe we need in this country more of is empathy and transparency, not party affiliation. All voices should be heard. Anyone should be able to say which party they stand for. No one should be canceled or silenced for their beliefs. There's no winning in going about it alone on either side. All great businesses have partnerships. This country is home to all of us, and it shouldn't matter which party is in power. We need to find some common ground. The division we have is the biggest threat to this country, in my opinion, and it has been incredibly sad to witness as an immigrant. Don't hate on your neighbor for flying a flag of any kind. And don't hate on your neighbor based on their country of origin either. We're all immigrants. Get to know your neighbors. Why do they think the way they do? It's okay that we're all different. Our upbringings were different. We all have different life experiences that have shaped our views. The goal shouldn't be to try to change someone's mind, but to better understand them and to turn inward to search for the answers in our own hearts. Alright, so I'm back from a little staycation. The nice thing about San Diego is that we are not just one town. We're like a combination of multiple different towns. There's beach towns, inland areas, and we all kind of have our own thing. So no matter like what you're into, you're gonna find a spot that speaks to you. And I think that's a really cool thing about San Diego, actually. I've lived all over the place and kind of scouted like what might be my thing. But currently, you know, being a stay-at-home mom and having young kids, obviously there's certain areas that are more fitting for that kind of lifestyle. Some of you might be wondering what the heck I'm thinking this week speaking on such controversial topics. And I have to be honest, this is a question that I've been thinking about for a long time. Ever since I got into DIY beauty and started dabbling in this myself, let alone once I enrolled at Formula Botanica to become a certified formulator, I, struggled with this because the more I got into all of this, I realized the fakery is strong on a lot of levels. There are so many money-hungry people out there who will just start brands and tick the boxes of organic, vegan, you name it. Especially as a new skincare brand, it's not that hard to just opt for ingredients like that, and then to just write this like meaningful statement for your brand as if these are the values you stand for, and then you just get the stamp of approval from the consumer and you can sell your products and they think that they're actually buying from somebody who cares at all. It's very apparent in some market products where they're still using, plastic or certain other toxic, not environmentally friendly ingredients in their products, yet they're like highlighting certain aspects of the product on the labels, and kind of this is what they call greenwashing, and fooling the consumers into becoming their customers. But even on a smaller scale, once they're not sold at stores, there's a lot of this. There's a lot of infighting that I've witnessed where people are just, one company does a few things, or one individual formulator uses a few things, and then others might be attacking that creator in not, being clean or green enough, or using something that is not environmentally friendly. And all these things change all the time as well. So like this is like an ever evolving topic as well, and it's a lot of work for the companies that are truly staying on top of this. They are incredible researchers. They spend an enormous amount of time on research, on ingredients and environmental issues, and whatever new studies are coming out and everything. So hats off to them. However, there is this sliver of a market that I actually feel like I am more authentic for, which is the average consumer who just wants to do better, who wants to dabble into the clean beauty, who's confused as all H-E-L-L, and cannot find a way to make this like a set part in their lives, because anytime they try, they get shut down. And it's the main reason that in my brand, I want to focus on empathy and transparency. Where I feel like I find my footing is as an immigrant. I love this country, for one. One of the things that I really love here is the freedoms. Freedom also allows us to prepare our own skincare products. So it's the freedom to create, but also the freedom to try, the freedom to choose better. And I want to empower people to make those choices, those little steps to get to where they want to go. Just like with food, the same, it's not very different for skincare. there's ingredients in common beauty products that are bad for you, and then there's ingredients that they can be swapped into, and through DIY you can actually take kind of the control in your own hands, and you have the freedom to create whatever you want. And I want to give you guys kind of those tools, and also whatever brand that I do launch where I've actually pre-made the products for you, I want them to stand tall on the values of transparency and empathy. That means, you know, supporting the consumers in by educating them in that these are good choices, and also being empathetic to the fact that this might be the first time that they try any of these things. But so why does this matter? I think the number one reason that all of this matters is that because the whole consumer culture has shifted. It's shifted to where brand values matter. It's mainly the younger generation right now that is actively buying from companies that line up with their own values. But as you know, that the older people are getting older and the younger people are getting older, those are the future consumers. Those are the big buyers in the market of tomorrow, and it is becoming more mainstream. Most companies are posting their values publicly and in their mission statements and things like that. So I do think that it is next to impossible for any, especially new brand, to stay neutral. If you truly want authenticity and options, you cannot limit businesses for voicing their own values and standing behind them. And therefore, guess what? For consumers, we'll have more options. And if you don't line up with these values, you don't buy from them. If you line up with these values, you buy from them. And isn't that beautiful? And we'll have an array of options. But I think that the empathy comes to play in that we are able to have more transparency by allowing different voices to be heard. So all of these are the reason why I felt so compelled to create this video this week. And I hope that we can keep the conversation going respectfully in the comments section. If you have a business, share what kind of business you have and what are the pillar values in your business. And then if you are interested to hear more about my journey as an immigrant launching a beauty brand in America, there will be a lot more coming on that on this vlog. So make sure that you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.